So come on down to your back and take your feet mat distance apart. Let your knees just cave into each other and place your palms on your tummy. Close your eyes and start to breathe in through your nose and back out through your nose. We'll take about 5 minutes at the start of class, just here lying in this constructive rest shape to work together with some really controlled breath work. Go ahead and exhale out all of your air. Take a breath in through your nose for 3, 2, 1. Hold your breath, hold your breath, hold. Exhale through your nose for 3, 2, 1. Inhale, 3, 2, 1. Hold your breath. Hold. Exhale, 3, 2, 1. One more together. Take a breath in for 3, 2, 1. Hold your breath at the top. Hold it a little bit longer. Exhale through your nose for 3, 2, and 1. Keep going. So keep with that breath work, maybe 5 or 6 more rounds, just at your own pace. See if you can soften your jaw, if you're gripping or biting your teeth together, soften that space. And do one more, holding as long as you like. Good. Start to separate your knees. Open your eyes, walk your feet together, and take a few really slow pelvic tilts. So we'll think of this class like pelvic floor therapy. Draw your pubic bone in and then squeeze. Release that squeeze. Tilt your pubic bone down and arch your lower back away from the floor. So as you breathe in, you're imprinting your lower back into the floor, drawing your pubic bone up and then squeezing at the pelvic floor like you're gripping a little blueberry there. And as you breathe out, you'll release that grip, reach your spine away from the floor, creating that big arc in your lower back. Yeah, one more time like that. Pubic bone lifts up, lower back pushes down. Grip and squeeze. Do that little Kegel exercise and find the opposite action. Beautiful. Neutralize your spine. Bring it right to neutral. And find a comfortable place for your arms. So they might be alongside your body. They could be up overhead. And then simply bring your knees up to hip height. And just flex and point your toes. Just flex and point your toes. Now, even just holding your knees up to do some little footwork here requires that you're drawing your front ribs in and really stabilizing through your core. So if you're noticing your lumbar spine arching away from the floor, take a little imprint, push it back down. Bring your feet back through center, spread your toes really, really wide, and then bend your toes. Spread your toes as wide as they can go and bend your toes. It's like you're making fists, and maybe you do this with your arms and your hands too. So as you spread your toes, you could spread your fingers, and as you make fists with your toes, make fists with your fingers. One more like that. Then find rotation through the ankles and maybe even through the wrists. I can hear my ankles crack, crack, crack. Find rotation in one direction and then flip it down and out to the other direction. Good. Really good. Now take your hands onto your thighs, flex your feet, engage your belly, like really, really engage your core and push your thighs away. Keep breathing. If this creates too much tension in your neck, back off. Push your thighs away and push your thighs in towards your hands. This isn't a big movement. It's not like we're doing a big crunch or a curl, but it's hard work. Keep creating that resistance. Push your thighs away, push your hands away. It's like your arms and your hands and your thighs are in a big battle of tug of war with each other. Keep pushing, keep breathing, and finally release. Release your legs down. Let your left knee fall all the way over towards the side. Keep the knee bent and just let that leg fall to the side. Your right foot can stay on the floor. Now straighten your left leg. Straighten your left leg. Turn your toes to face the ceiling. Bend into your left knee and bring that leg back to where you started. Try that again. This is a nice way to release any tension in your hips. So let your left knee fall open to the left. Straighten your left leg long. Turn your toes to face up and bend that knee back in. Could you do that 3 more times? A nice, gentle hip release. Stay on the left side here. I'm just going to fix the angle of this camera. And once you've done those 3 little hip releases on the left side, keep the left knee bent and try 5 reps in total on the right side. So your right knee flops out to the right, straighten the leg, turn your toes to point up, and bend the knee right back in. Good, nice and slow. Really, really treating this class like pelvic floor therapy. Your toes point up before the knee snuggles right back in beside the left leg. Flop that right knee out to the side, straighten it out. Point your toes to the ceiling and bend the leg back in. 2 more times. Just go ahead at your own pace. Moving with so much ease and grace. We'll go slow and steady today. Really good. Come back through center. Take a breath in through your nose, and this time exhale out through your mouth. Keep your arms relaxed comfortably alongside your body, and pick your knees up again. Draw your chin into your chest, set your knees right above your hips, and really take the time to readjust because they'll tend to come closer into your chest. That's easier. We're anchoring them above our hips. Take a big breath in through your nose, engage your belly, and as you exhale, simply tap your right toes down. Inhale, lift them back up. Exhale, left toes. Inhale, lift them back up. Right side taps, left side taps. Right side taps, left side taps. Right side and left side. Keep going. Eyes can be closed here. The whole time you're doing this work, think about stitching your front ribs in, like you had a little corset on. Everything in the midline of your body is tight. 10, 9, 8, stay with it, 7, 6, 5, mindful if those knees are lifting up and coming closer to your chest instead of landing just above your hips. 3, 2, and 1. Keep the knees lifted. Keep the knees lifted. Take a big breath in. Exhale, extend your right leg, point your right toes, and hover your right heel. Inhale, bring it back. Push through your left heel, point your left toes, hover your heel, and bring it back. One side and then the other. Now, notice how your lower back's drifting away from the floor. Engage through your belly. Breathe out through your mouth, in through your nose. And persevere a little further, a little longer for 10. Good. 9. 8, remember the knees are just coming right above your hips. You can even put your hands there like stoppers. 6, 5, 4, you've got this. 3 more, and 2, nice work, last 1, bring the knees in, hug them in, give yourself a little snuggle, and just rock from side to side. Let your knees fall over to the right. Take your right hand on top of your left thigh. You might bend your left elbow open to the side. Peer over your left shoulder if that stretch is okay on your neck. And breathe into that big rotation that's happening through your side body. Bring it all back through center. And take a moment, readjust your hips to the right, let your knees sink over to the left. Set your right arm either folded at the elbow or in extension to the right and peer over your right shoulder. Take a big breath in through your nose. Exhale, find that depth, find that rotation. Another big breath comes in. And exhale. Good, bring it all back through center. We'll do a bit more work here, really focusing on the lower body and letting the upper body relax today. Not so much strain in the shoulder joints. Go ahead and extend your left leg long. Stretch your right leg up towards the ceiling. Your hands might come on your belly. They could come alongside your body, but think about trapping the entire body in stillness except this right leg. Flex your left foot, point your right toes. And if you had a little paintbrush on your right big toe, you're painting the greatest circle. First over to the right, don't move the body, don't move the torso, it's just the leg as that right leg cuts across your body to the left. Ever so slowly, take 3 circles in this direction. Think about using the strength, the muscle in your right leg to draw those circles instead of momentum. Left hip stays anchored throughout. And the next time your right toes point to the ceiling, stay there and then point your right toes towards your face. Point them back to the ceiling. Point your right toes towards your face. Point them to the ceiling. Take a big circle in one direction with your right foot and a big circle in the other direction. Point your right toes again. We're doing a circle in the opposite direction. So the circle starts to the left, moving across your body as big or as little as you can do. 3 big circles with that right leg. You can always bend into your left knee if you want to modify this. Breathe. Good. At the end of that third circle, flex your right foot, bend your right knee in towards your chest. You might grab the back of your right thigh. Keep your chin tucked, the back of your neck long. You might grab the outside edge of your right foot. Steady breath here. Inhale through your nose and exhale out. Release that right foot down. This is always really cool. Straighten your right leg beside your left leg and just feel how much longer that right side feels. Doesn't it feel like you gained a whole foot of length? It does in my body. And rotate those right toes to face the ceiling. Flex your right foot, bend into your left knee, and kick your left leg up towards the ceiling. So you'll know how tight your hamstrings are based on how straight that leg is. And before anything, can you just press the left toes forward and then press the left toes towards your face, towards your knee a few times. Good. Find a big ankle circle in one direction, around in the other direction. Point your toes, stabilize through your core. Remember, the rest of your body is still, and start your circle by moving out to the left. Point those toes, you're moving out to the left. Cascade that circle over your right thigh. 3 really slow movements. Maybe your hands come onto your pelvis to stabilize your pelvis here. So you're deeply isolating that left leg, and there's some work on the inner groin. Yeah. After 3 full circles, don't rush, take your time. But when you finish those 3 full circles, turn it around in the other direction. Good. Your circles might get smaller or bigger. You'll unconsciously speed them up or slow them down. Try to be present and really connected to what's happening here. And the next time that left leg comes up, bend your knee into your chest. Maybe you take your left hand behind your left thigh. You could catch the outside edge of your left foot with your left hand and take a happy baby pose. Take a big breath in through your nose. And exhale, sigh, let it go. Good. Place the soles of your feet back on the floor. Tack your hands alongside your body. And before anything else, just do a few of those plain, easy breezy pelvic tilts. So draw your pubic bone down and then pick it up. Good. Spread your toes wide. Walk your heels about hip distance apart. And now your shoulders, your head, and your neck are stable. The neck is long, so you can tuck your chin in. Breathe in to prepare. And breathe out, send your pelvis high. So there's a little bridge pose. Breathe in, lower your bum all the way down. Breathe out, push into your feet and let that force through the soles of your feet reach your pelvis up. And lower all the way back down. Good. Continue rising and releasing. Considering again that instead of this being a hardcore 6-pack building Pilates sequence, today really is about pelvic floor health. So now, as you continue this action of rising and falling, the next time you come to the top, can you squeeze that imaginary blueberry, do a little Kegel, and then release as you lower halfway. And when you lift back up, squeeze it again, release as you lower halfway. Reaching up to squeeze and release. You got it. Reaching up, squeeze and release. Continue this simple action up and down for 10. Squeezing at the top, 9. Releasing at the bottom, 8. 7, really pushing through your feet. 6. Good, keep going. 5, halfway there. 4, 3, 2. Last one, hold it at the top. Squeeze, release. Squeeze, release. Think Kegel, release. Kegel, release. Keep going for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Settle it all back down to the floor. Notice how your bum feels. Rock from side to side. Take a big breath in. And exhale everything back out. All right, we'll put all of that together. Take your legs, reach both legs up towards the sky. Both legs stretch up. Point your toes and flex. So first your toes point towards the ceiling, and then they drive back towards your knees. Point back towards your knees. Point your toes towards the ceiling. Point your toes towards your knees. One more time. Good. Now keep your toes pointed. Open your arms a little wider on the floor, like they're creating a little V shape. Tuck your chin into your chest and start to make a big, maybe small, let's start small, a small circle with your legs. So legs are glued together. You're creating a small circle with your legs. Yeah. And maybe that circle gets a little bit bigger. Maybe it gets a bit bigger. You can play with flexing or extending your feet. Imagining that you're creating a little corkscrew shape with your legs. And your belly, if you touch it right now, should be on fire. Fully engaged. This is not a fast movement. It's remarkably, almost appallingly slow. Good. And then take your corkscrew, whatever size circles you landed at, and turn it around in the other direction. This gets harder the bigger the circles, but we're always trying to stabilize using our belly strength through the midline. So the whole torso is steady. It's not rocking around. There will always be some movement. Good. When you finish one last circle, bend both knees into your chest. You might catch the backs of your thighs or take a happy baby pose. Draw your chin into your chest. Breathe in. Open your mouth wide and exhale. Stay one more breath in. And exhale. Release your heels to your bum. Feet come to the floor and roll over onto your left side. So we're staying all lower body, all floor work today. You can take a pillow under your left ear. You might prop up on your hands. And then set your legs up, bending at your knees and setting your heels on top of one another, but look down and make sure your knees and your ankles are in one long line. Okay, so your heels aren't back by your bum this time, they're right below your knees. Good, and then take your hand and tuck your hand right underneath your torso so you can feel your rib cage and see if you could push down through your left hip, your left side hip, and arc your ribs a little bit away from the floor. Yeah, good. So there's some strength through your core, and you're not leaning forward, you're not leaning back, you're perfectly balanced here. From there, just lift up your top leg and lower it back down. Lift your top leg about 1 foot high and lower it back down. Lift it up and lower. And that's the work here to start. So you're just lifting and lowering that right leg, taking any arrangement with your head and that top arm so that you feel safe and supported in the upper body. And keeping this movement really, really slow. Yeah. Let's continue here for 10, 9, 8. Make the movement even smaller for 7. Breathing 6. 5. You got it. 4. 3. 2. On 1, hold that leg up. Hold it up so it's lifted away from the bottom leg. And then squeeze the heel in towards your bum. Place the heel back to its starting position. Okay, squeeze the heel in towards your bum. Return back to normal. Try that for 5. The leg is hovering. The heel is squeezing. 3, 2, and 1. Good. Stay here with the top leg. Kick out the top leg, extend it, reach it forward. So now your right thigh is directly above your left thigh. Tap your right toes down, lift the leg back up and move your right leg back so your hip, knee, and ankle are aligned. Swing that right leg forward until the right thigh is above your left thigh. Point your right toes down, tap your right toes down, lift up and drive that heel back in line with your right hip. Continue doing this little sweeping, tapping action, excruciatingly slowly, and be mindful if you're starting to fall back in space or if the center of your torso is really caving into the floor. So instead of caving it in, you're finding a little strengthening through your midline. Good. The next time your right leg drives forward and hovers over your left leg, point your right toes down, tap them, lift them up, and then tap again. Tapping for 10, 9, 8, that glute should be on fire. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Ay, ay, ay. Lie down on your back, take your right ankle across your left thigh, interlace your hands behind your left thigh. A well-deserved thread the needle stretch. Rock your hips from side to side. Breathe in. And breathe out. Breathe in. And breathe out. Miraculous, miraculous work. Go ahead and lay down on the other side. I hope you're not planning to go on a big run or bike ride today because your body will be burning from this kind of work. So prop yourself up on the opposite side. Good. Set that top knee on top of your bottom knee. Remember, your knees and your ankles are in line here. Suction up under the rib cage so you're anchoring through your hip and the underbelly of your breastbone and armpit. And start with picking up your top leg and lowering. Good. These first few repetitions give you an opportunity to really explore that hugging in, that hovering up along the side body, and the stabilization of your torso so you're not wobbling and rocking side to side. And it's good to really focus on that alignment stuff right from the get-go, because the second this glute starts to burn, all of your brain is going to be there. We don't want alignment to go out the window. Continue pulsing for 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, you're doing awesome. 3, 2, 1. Hold that leg at the top. Bring the heel in towards your bum. Turn it back to where it started. Squeeze your heel to your bum, your top heel. Turn it back to where it started. Try a few more of those pulses and really, really squeeze it in. Squeeze it in like you're trying to touch the heel right into your backside. Try one more like that. Amazing. Straighten your top leg. Hover it above your bottom leg. Tap your toes down. Lift them up and move that foot back so your hip, knee, and ankle are aligned. Sweep it forward above your bottom leg. Point the toes down. So there's this deep internal rotation of your femur bone that happens. Then lift it up, straighten out the leg, and come back. You know the drill. Let's go for 10, 9, 8, good, 7, 6, 5, 4, almost there, 3, 2, 1 takes us to the grand finale. Point those toes down, you're just tapping and lifting. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Oi! Squeeze over onto your back. Take that ankle across your thigh. Catch the back of the thigh. Thread the needle pose. Breathe here. Amazing. Roll over to either side. Push your hands into the floor. And pick yourself up to sit. Pick yourself up to sit. Good. Sit cross-legged. Take your left hand over to your right thigh and find a deep spinal twist. So peer over the back shoulder. Breathe in to lengthen. And breathe out, deepen that stretch. Curve it all back through center. Rotate to the other side. Good. Come back through neutral. If your arms and shoulders are really sensitive, you might take your right hand down and just find a little side body stretch by taking your left hand across your belly. Maybe your left hand could come to the back of your head. Mindful again of any injuries you're nursing, or extend that top arm overhead. Keep looking down, reaching. Take a big breath in. Stay as you exhale. Another breath comes in. And exhale, draw that top arm back. But find the same subtle stretch on the other side. So maybe it's just the hand on the floor and this awareness of tension shearing in the side of your torso. Perhaps the top arm comes to the back of your head, or maybe it soars up overhead. Neither's better nor worse, just different experiences in your body, all of which will give you whatever it is you need. Take a big breath in. Exhale. Another big breath in. And exhale. Lift everything back through center. Close your eyes and just take a few moments here to work on shoulder rolls or shrugs. Think therapeutic movement. So if there's any discomfort or pain, Just sit. Just sit in your body and feel what's happening underneath your skin. Otherwise, you're rolling your shoulders around in both directions. And after you've done that a few times, you can pause, tuck your chin into your chest. Again, really sitting in the driver's seat here. Maybe your chin just stays tucked, but perhaps there's enough mobility in your neck to take your head around in a head circle, coming at it from a place of healing and therapy rather than doing a big stretch. And if that's working for you, you can take your head around in the other direction. Beautiful. Lift your head and neck up. Turn your body to face down. Separate your knees wide. And traditionally, our child's pose is practiced with our arms outstretched overhead. But if your neck and shoulders don't feel good about that today, take them underneath your body. It's called turtle variation, turtle pose. Shoulders are caving in. Your face might be squished against the floor, but you could take your right shoulder or left shoulder down instead. And here you have an opportunity to feel that big release through your back and your inner groin, even into your outer hips, without compromising shoulder health. Just breathe here. Magnificent. Bring your hands forward. And turn your body all the way around. You're coming down onto your back. Snuggle your knees back into your chest. Take your right hand on your right knee, your left hand on your left knee. Draw your chin into your chest and create circles with your knees. Go really, really slow. Thinking about all of these little movements as a work in rather than a workout. Finding calm, peaceful energy. Take a few more circles. Layer your legs down onto the floor. Place one hand on your belly. The other comes towards your heart. Take a long, deep breath in. Exhale. And set an intention to heal. To heal maybe a physical part of your body, or to heal something in your mind, in your brain. 10 slow breaths here. If you have time in your day to stay here, just turn off your screen and linger for up to 10 minutes. This is so, so good for your brain. If you're ready to come out, you might begin to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Bend into both knees and nice and slow, roll on over to the right side. Push down through your hands and pick yourself all the way back up. Find a cross-legged seat. Turn your palms to face down on your thighs. Close your eyes. Inhale through your nose. Exhale back out through your nose. We'll finish just how we started with some controlled breath. Inhale for 3, 2, 1. Hold 3, 2, 1. Exhale 3, 2, 1. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. Last time. Inhale. Hold. Exhale. With so much gratitude, thank you for practicing. Namaste.